found out my wife of almost 6 years was planning on cheating. As the title says, I woke up this morning around 11 a.m. My wife said she was going to make breakfast, so I was in charge of our son while she was cooking. My wife normally gives my son her phone to watch Super Simple Songs YouTube channel. My son is 15 months and sometimes will exit out of the videos onto another app, so we have to put it back when he hands us the phone. So when he did this, he handed me the phone and it was on my wife's messages with someone under her best friend's phone name with messages that they were planning on meeting up on a date. She told me she had to go for a convention at work. I love her to death, but I can't get past this. When I tried to talk, she wouldn't give a straight answer and we practically got nowhere on the subject. Sorry for it seeming rushed, currently I'm an emotional wreck. Update, follow up to a post I made a year or two back. To start things off, I made a post a year or so ago talking about how I had caught my STBX wife planning on cheating on me and how we had reconciled and were planning on working things out. I was advised by many at the time that it wouldn't be worth it in the long run, and once a cheater, always a cheater. Well, I just wanted to say to those people back then, you were right. Me and the ex had a very good time after that and seemingly reconciled and even had another baby, a 3-year-old and now 3-month-old. However, that brief period of bliss since then unfortunately came to a halt as of the 12th of December. For around the last 2 months I suspected something was happening again because all the warning signs were there, phone always being on her, less intimate, and arguments quite frequently. Back in November she asked to have an open marriage, which sparked one of our biggest fights at the time, and we had agreed to go to marriage counseling and start working through our issues and concerns. That never ended up happening. Which brings us to the 12th of December. The morning started out like normal. I woke up, made cinnamon waffles for our 3-year-old, and was spending time with the 3-month-old when this massive uneasy feeling was setting in, which had been building up over the past 2 months. She was acting a little off, so my best attempt to put my worries to ease and that feeling that I was overreacting came out. I simply stressed the way I was feeling and asked if I could simply see her phone. She never had an issue after the first time, so surely she wouldn't have an issue now, right? Well, she said she didn't have to. I told her this would be the best way to quell any doubts and maybe even give her a chance to call me stupid for thinking she would do it again. I said that and asked again, which she swiftly said no, and that we would talk later about things once my parents had left. Quick side note, we've been living with my parents for about 3 years due to losing damn near everything we had at the time, so we started living back at my parents' house, during which she got caught the first and second time. Well, after she told me no again, I told her that she's basically confirmed my suspicions and I asked her to leave. She kept asserting we would talk about it later and that she didn't want to do so now. I told her I was going to go on a drive to clear my head, so I was in a better mood when we talked because I didn't want it to turn into a massive screaming match between us on front of the kids. As I was getting ready, I decided that I would take the 3-year-old to the park, so I told her I would be doing so. She then tells me that I can't take him with me, which initiated a full-blown argument between us. I managed to get my hands on her phone due to her throwing it on the bed, and she tried to take it from me by force. I asked her, before I open up your phone, is there anything you want to tell me before I do? That promptly had her tell me that she was planning to leave after the holiday to live with her mom due to our recent arguments, and that she wasn't happy that we wouldn't explore an open marriage. When I asked her who she had been talking to that prompted the open marriage, she said the coldest thing I've heard her say in almost 8 years together: you already know who it is. The reason this was so cold was a friend of ours was in an open relationship with his wife, and sometime over the last few months had burrowed his way into her mind and was basically wanting to have a relationship with her as well. My ex agreed with him and they basically started sexting back and forth behind my back while his wife was aware of it. Needless to say, I was extremely pissed. Our argument got so bad that my mom came in asking what was wrong, which had me basically screaming that she was doing it again and that I wanted her out. My ex ended up leaving that day, still talking to the bastard, while I sat at home with both of the kids trying my best to take care of them while spending most of the day in tears. I've already been able to get things going as she was served a few days ago, and as of now I have custodies of the kids, but I feel lost. She's already admitted to continuing talking to him but wants us to continue openly, which I've already stated there wasn't a chance in hell that was going to happen. She has refused to help support the kids and even attempted to have the kids taken from me using the police. while I was at work, which thankfully they didn't allow because they gave me time to get home. She actually left a paper trail that dates back a few months of her planning to leave, which my lawyer has. This next year will be hell, and to have everything blow up right before our anniversary and the holiday really sucked. I guess I'm looking for advice to keep my head up 'cause I'm lost.